As many of you likely recall, Elizabeth won our our international speech contest this past spring, then went on to win at the area level as well and competed in her very first year as a Toastmaster at the division level, something that took me a lot longer to make the division level. I always look forward to her speeches, and I'm sure this one will be as delightful as all of them are. Speaking today on the topic of the age of elegance, please join me in welcoming Elizabeth Purtee.
It was a couple weeks before the district conference. It was 10 o'clock, Jeffrey and my BT, bedtime. That's our regular BT, so that we can energize ourselves. Our tradition is that we snuggle up and talk about the day and share the plans for the next day or the future. And this night's snuggling, where I am all enveloped by my big teddy bear of a husband, he was sharing with me what would happen a couple weeks from then at the district conference. The main goal was to shoot for Kuala Lumpur. But we had just recently discovered that there was another thing happening on the same week as Kuala Lumpur. And that is, there was to be a Ms. Senior Nevada pageant in Las Vegas on the same week as the Kuala Lumpur contest for the international speech contest. Jeffrey suggested, I'll make you a deal, Elizabeth. If by some chance I lose at the district level, then the challenge is you're up to go for the national Ms. Senior America pageant for Nevada. I was so sure that Jeffrey was going to win the district level that I immediately said, absolutely, I'll take on that challenge. After all, 31 years before, I had been challenged to run after I had had my 5th baby. He was 4 months old when I ran for the Mrs. Utah pageant, and I won. And then in this pageant, there was a swimsuit portion, and I actually took #1 in swimsuit as well. And at the National Mrs. America pageant, at that year, unexcitedly held when I was from Utah and had lived in Nevada for umpteen years before, in Las Vegas, so it wasn't so exciting, as going someplace else exciting. But I did go to the National Mrs. America pageant, and I placed in the top 10. So that was kind of an accomplishment. So I thought, it'll be fine. I'll take it on. The Saturday the 14th came and went. And to my amazement, my husband was disqualified because of time. He went over. So now the challenge was really on. The very following Wednesday, Jeffrey and I were invited to join the group of Miss Senior Nevadas coming up from a whole group of them from Las Vegas to Carson City. First of all, to put roses on each plaque of representing at a tree representing each county of our state, commemorating previous pageant contestants as well as deceased pageant contestants. You can imagine when you're talking about Ms. Seniors that have to be 60 or more, we have had a few deceased. So we were commemorating that as well. So we got to see that experience. Afterwards, we met with Governor Sandoval at the county building from his office, and then we were invited to have lunch at the governor's mansion. We had a wonderful tour of the mansion, and after that, we were invited for a luncheon at the governor's mansion, and besides that, it was followed by entertainment from our current Miss Senior Nevada, as well as previous Miss Senior Nevadas, including one who was 92 years old, was the first Miss Senior Nevada, and she had won the contest back in 1985. So it was a wonderful experience, and needless to say, I had lots of opportunities to ask questions of what's involved in this pageant, really. I learned there are 3 parts. Part number 1, an extensive interview lasting a total of 5 minutes by 7 judges, a panel that I will be sitting in front of. The second, and I can win a total of 30 points max. The second part is, in front of an entire stadium, I will have 2 minutes and 45 seconds to display a talent. Finally, thirdly, I will be judged with remaining 40 points for presentation in an evening gown, as well as stating my philosophy of life in 30 seconds or less. For each one of these timed events, that's why I must pay particular attention to the time these days, if I am 1 second over time in either talent or saying my philosophy of life, where they have 30 seconds, you are penalized 1 point per judge. There are 7 of them per minute that you go over. So by the possibility of those 20 points in the statement of philosophy, or 30 points in your talent, they start taking off the points. And that's how you're judged. So how am I going to be preparing? Well, did I mention how expensive running and competing and being in a pageant is? My husband has already put out for me to have a personal trainer beginning today. Oh, I had my workout with weights for a full 2 hours, and I will have that 3 days a week. I also have had to pay over $1,500 for a privately choreographed jazz routine since I've been a ballroom dancer for the past 5 years. I said, I don't have any talent. I'm supposed to show a talent. He goes, you've been a ballroom dancer for 5 years. I'm sure Suzette can choreograph you a jazz routine. I'm going to be doing a routine from the movie Burlesque to a Christina Aguilera song called I'm a Good Girl. So I'm excited to learn about what that routine will turn out to be. And so that is the final part. Plus, I'm counting on you all as Toastmasters. I'm going to come back, and hopefully you can give me these 1-minute challenges to be prepared so I can say my answers in 30 seconds or less, and win the title August 20th, which I hope you'll all attend.